Welcome to the video lecture on Microcontroller and Embedded Systems Lab. Today we'll be discussing program number 7. This program is to arrange a series of 32-bit numbers in ascending or descending order. So first we'll discuss the ascending order program. Here we are using bubble sort algorithms. As you know, the bubble sort algorithm here work like this. You have to compare. This is the array input. You have to compare first data with the second. If first one is larger than the second one, you require swapping. Okay, you can see here there is a swapping. Here the 11 comes here, 44 goes here. So like that, second, third, fourth are compared, and this is called pass 1. At the end of pass 1, the largest number is available at the end of the array. Okay, this is called pass 1. And in this pass, you can see there are 3 comparisons. Okay, how many passes are there? Like that, this is the second pass, this is the third pass. There are 3 passes, and there are n minus 1 comparisons in every pass. You can see in the first pass, n is 4. There are 3 comparisons. So therefore, here the number of passes equal to 3 in our example. Number of passes equal to 3. That is n minus 1 passes. And in our program, the counter register we have used as R9 there for the outer loop. And similarly, inner loop is for number of comparisons. Inner loop counter used is R5. And again, for the first pass, there are 3 comparisons. So therefore, R5 is also initialized with n minus 1, that is 3. So R9 is initialized with 3 and R5 also initialized with 3. And in the program, the data array is declared here in code area. Code area, this is the array, there are 4 numbers. And there is one more memory location which is declared here in the read write part. Okay, it is initialized with 0. So this particular memory location will be modified during the execution of the program. This is not modified. So what you have to do is, we have to first copy this data from code region to data region. That is from C value to D value. So here, this slide, I am just explaining how this is copied to here. See, the first array is stored like this. Each element occupies 4 memory locations because the size of the data is 32-bit or 4 bytes. So therefore, the 4 memory locations are used for the first data. Then the second one also use the 4 memory locations. Like that it continues. You see here, C value 0, the starting address of the first data. Similarly, C value 4, the starting address of the second data. Okay, this is copied into this. Okay, element by element. So there are 4 elements. So therefore, we require a counter here. We have used R8 as a counter to copy this data from C value to D value. That is from code area to data area. So R8 should be initialized with 4. So this is a code I am using here. These are all assembler directives which are written in red. Area, code, read only, entry, start. So this is the read only part. Ascending is the name of the program which is given. See, as I said, this complete part is the copying data from code area to data area. So what is the counter used here? The counter used is R8. What is the value of this counter? It should be 4. So therefore R8 is a counter. It is initialized with 4 here. The 4 is copied into R8 here using move instruction. So next we are just copying that starting address of the array C value to R2 and starting address of the array D value into R3. Okay, and here we are just copying this memory location content into R1. What is the meaning of this hash 4? First copy the content of this memory location to R1, then increment the pointer by 4. Why it should be 4? Because see, after copying this, it should come to this 4. Okay, so that is why first copy this entire 32-bit data into this, then the pointer should be incremented to the next one. So it should be incremented by 4. So that is why it is done here. Okay, this part. Similarly, this part you are storing the value from R0 to memory location. Okay, see here, you cannot directly copy from this memory location to this memory location. Memory to memory movement is not permitted. So no instruction will do that. So therefore what we will do is we will first copy this data into R1 register. From R1 you are copying it to here. That is from here using LDR instruction. This is using LDR instruction. You are copying from memory location to R1. Then from R1 you are storing. STR is for storing. From R1 you are copying to memory location. Again, in the memory location here, after storing, you have to increment the pointer. So this pointer also should be incremented to this after copying. Okay, so we have copied the data from C value to D value, but only one data here. Okay, the first data we have copied, first 32-bit word we have copied. Then we have used R8 as a counter. Decrement the counter value by 1. Okay, then check whether R8 is reached 0 or not. If it is reached 0, means we have copied all the data from C value to D value. If R8 is not reached to 0, that means you have to repeat the loop. Okay, the loop will go to here. Loop 0 is a label I have used here, so it goes to here. So again the second data is copied. Again counter is decremented. Compare the counter whether it is reached 0 or not. If not, go back. So how many times this loop is repeated? That is loop 0 is repeated. It is repeated 4 times. Okay, why 4? Because there are 4 data here. Okay, so this entire code part, that is these instructions are used to copy the data from code area to data area. So the next part is the sorting part. The bubble sort algorithm is implemented here. As I said, we have taken 2 counters here in the previous slide. So R9 is used as outer loop counter, R5 is used as inner loop counter. So here, so R9 is initialized with 3 because n is 4, it is n minus 1, so it is 3. Similarly, R5 also initialized with 3 here. So next we are copying the address of D value into R1, because why we are doing it again? See, after copying, it has come to this place. Okay, it has come to this place here. It is there, updated to this place after copying from code area to data area. So we have to again initialize to this place from the beginning. So that is why we are using this here. Okay, pointer is again initialized. So R1 is a pointer here. Then the first data, see again what I am doing, I am copying the first data into R2, then increment, post increment the pointer by 4. Okay, so my data is now, first data is in R2. Then again second data, so R1 pointer is incremented, it is pointing to the second one here. Okay, after execution of this instruction. So therefore this is the second one now. The second data is copied into R3. So that means first data is available in R2, second data is available in R3. They are compared. Okay, they are compared. Suppose if R2 is smaller than R3, see BLT here. BLT means what? B lower than. Which is lower than? R2 is lower than R3. Then it will jump to the label skip. Skip is here. Okay. So otherwise, okay, otherwise what happens? If R2 is larger than R3, then we have to interchange the numbers. Okay, interchange the numbers in R2 and R3. That is, just you have to swap the contents of R2 and R3. That means R2 is larger than R3, so it will go to the second position. So these three instructions are simply swapping. Okay, swapping part. Okay, when we have to swap, if R3 is greater than R2 is greater than R3, you have to do. If R2 is smaller than R3, then you have to skip this part and go to this. Okay. So now let us see how the swapping happens here. See here, what you have to do, you have to swap. R2 should be copied to R3. Then R3 should be copied to R2. So what I am doing here, so now R1 is already pointing to the second data. Here you see, R1 is here, second data it is pointing. So second data is copied into R2. Second data is copied to R2. Okay. Sorry, it is, from R2, it is storing. From R2, it is copied to this memory location. R2, the content of R2. What is the content of R2? What is the content of R2? R2 has the first data. Okay, first data. It is copied into, see here, it is copied into the second memory location. Second memory location, because pointers are already incremented here. Second memory location. Okay. Then R3 content. R3 content is copied into this memory location. Okay, what is that memory location? This one here. Okay, so that is, after copying, the pointers are decremented. It's -4 here. See, it is decremented. That is to the first memory location. Okay, after decrement, what we get? After decrement, it will go to here itself. So that is, you are copying. I'll repeat this part. Store, STI store, copy the R2 content. What is R2 content? First data into second memory location. Second memory location, because second memory, the pointer is already incremented here, and it is pointed to the second data. So therefore, this is copied into second memory location. Second memory location. Okay, what is second memory location? Which is this one. It is copied to this part. Then what I am doing? str R3. What is there in R3? The second data is copied into here. Okay, here. How it is here? Because I am, after copying the first data, I am decrementing the pointer. This is -4. See, this is -4, not +4, -4. Copy and decrement the pointer. So decremented. So at the end, finally, first data is copied into second memory location, and second data is copied into first memory location. So that is, we have swapped. Then update the pointer. Why you have to update? Because it's already decremented here. It has to point to the second data. So that is why update the pointer. Add R1 with 4. Restore the pointer. Okay, this is swapping part. Okay. After swapping, we have to decrement inner loop counter. What is inner loop counter register? R5. So subtract 1 from R5. So R5 becomes 3 now. So check whether R5 is reached 0. If not, repeat the inner loop. So inner loop go here. Again second and third are compared. If required, swapping is done. If swapping is not required, go to skip here, decrement the pointer, and loop is repeated again. So how many times this loop is repeated? Inner loop is repeated 3 times here in our example. Okay, 3 times. Okay, then it will come out after this is one pass 1. After coming out this pass 1, again here it will this condition fails here because R5 becomes 0. Condition fails, comes out from the loop. Then outer loop. Okay, R9 is outer loop counter. Decrement its value by 1. Check whether it is reached 0 or not. So outer loop, that is number of passes counter. Check whether it is reaches 0 or not. If not equal to 0, repeat the outer loop. Outer loop go here again. Okay, repeat the passes. Okay, repeat the number of passes here. Okay, so this is the termination. So at the end of this, you can check the sorted data in D value memory location. How to check in the D value? So you have to D value pointer is R1. You have to see what is the content of R1. Okay, that memory location you have to use. Okay, so this is the data, D area, and sorry, it is code region and it is a data region. This is read only. This is read write part. Now let us see the execution of this program using Keil Microvision. Open new Microvision project. I'll give program 7 as a project name. Save. Type here LPC 2148. Click on this. Click on OK. Click on No. Next part is create new file. I have already typed. Just I'm copying that here. The program is same program which I explained in my slide. So same program is here. Save the program. So I'll give p6.asm as extension. p6.asm as extension. Save. So it's already existing. Okay. I'll give some other name. So it is. I'll give pp6. Sorry, it is p7. I'll give p7.asm as a file name. Save. So p7 is there. Click on source group. Add existing file to the source group 1. Add. So give the file name here p7. p7.asm. Click on add. So the file is added to the source group. You can check here. Close this. You can check it is added here p7.asm. Then build target. Click on build target. See, no error, no warning. You can also use this button here, this button to build target. So again, 0 error, 0 warning. Next step is debug. Click on debug. Click on start debug session. Click on OK. Again, click on debug. Run your program. Again, click on debug. Stop running. Okay. So your program is executed. Now you can see the content of the memory location. The sorted array is available in memory location. Okay. To see the result, go to view, go to memory windows, select memory 1 and type 4 followed by 7 zeros. That is our address where, or the starting address of the array. See, R1 has this address, that is 4 followed by 60 and C. So that means R1 is pointing to the last element. That is because it's in the loop, it is incremented. The counter is it's incremented in the loop. But you have to see the starting address. If you see here, in this case, so this is array is pointing to here, but you have to see the starting address. Instead of C, now it is 0 here. Okay, so this is how it is stored. Okay, so thank you. This is how we can see the result. Okay, thank you.